Hello everybody and welcome back to Beyond the Veil Tarot and Astrology. My name is Candace Marie. It is Friday night. We are live back on the channel. Thank you for joining me. This has quickly become like one of my favorite things to do. Kind of crazy, right? I work on Fridays, so it's kind of like I work for a little bit, do my readings, take a nap, chill, come back here, hang out with all of you guys online. Those of you guys who have been followers of my channel, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I've been hanging out here a little bit, getting ready for tonight's show, pulling out a couple decks. Happy new moon in Cancer. The new moon just kind of happened not too long ago, so hopefully you're doing something fun to ritualize that and getting those like summer emotional domestic vibes going. This one's not too chaotic for me. How is it doing for you guys? Hi everybody in the chat. Hey Mags, hey Alex, Angeli, Rainbow Snuggle Fritz, hello. I saw a couple of people here earlier too. I don't know if they bounced in or bounced out. People come and go. But thank you guys for waiting. Yeah, so last week we did astrology. This week we're going to do tarot just to kind of get you guys into the flow of things. We will be alternating. Also, I've been really good about doing these shows on Friday. However, I have a couple changes in my schedule going on this month. So I've actually booked all of my readings, all of the live shows that I'm going to be doing. One's going to be on a Thursday. One's probably going to be on a Saturday because my schedule is so crazy this month. I've got all kinds of stuff that I'm having to do, but I want to make sure that I stay consistent with bringing you guys your stuff. Hello, Loriana. Also, just want to give a shout out to everybody who has been supporting the channel. Thank you so much for you guys, whether you're level 1 or level 3. Those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, check out my links below. Make sure that you are liking and subscribing this channel. You can now support the channel by just donating at the basic level. You also get a cute little emoji so I can kind of see who my subscribers are. And then level 2 would be being able to donate to the channel. You're also going to get a shout out from me during my videos, and those members are actually Emma R, Susan Wexler, and Catherine Marie. Thank you guys for subscribing to my level 3. And you also, because you get that shout out, one of you guys who is level 3 is going to be VIP list, so you're going to be one of the very first people that I do a reading for. So that's kind of the benefit, is if you are subscribing to my channel, you're going to help me out, help me bring you guys more content, because the more subscribers I get, the more I can create videos on teaching astrology and all kinds of other things that interest you. It'll give me the freedom to be able to do that and also make all of this stuff happen. But level 3 is actually going to get one reading a month during my live shows. So I do them weekly. Usually it's on Fridays. So if one doesn't work for you, you can come and do another day. And Catherine is a level 3, so she is going to be one of the first people that I do readings for. I think I saw her in here earlier. Yes, we do have the super chat. So those of you guys who have super chat, awesome. But we've also got the PayPal link that's up there. So if you send me a PayPal, awesome. Just let me know and I'll make sure that I see that. I see one from Angeli, and I also see one from Matthew Powers. So I will definitely be getting to you guys shortly. And thank you, Elle. I see you. I'll be seeing you as well. So $20 for one question, for one card. It's going to be $40 for 3. So just so you guys know, we're working with 20 or 40. Obviously, donations are always welcome, especially if you just want to hang out and get a vibe for my reading style. So I'm just seeing, is Catherine in the house? Is she here? I know. Hi, Rob. Nice to see you. Let's see if Catherine pops in, because I believe she was here. If she doesn't, I will still give her reading. I'll just do a general spread. Looks like Angeli has a question. Angeli asked, Angeli, I don't know if you want me to just read the cards or if you want me to say the question, but I saw your question, girl. So let's see what the cards have to say in terms of the answer. Obviously this is on a public forum, so that's kind of the trade-off, you know. You can get a reading with me really quick. I can answer one question, but it is going to be public. So if you're asking something that's a little bit more personal. Angeli just had a question about where her man is this evening. We're going to get to the bottom of this. All right, I love these kinds of questions. So let's see what the cards have to say in terms of where he is this evening. So Spirit, what do we need to know? One thing I would tell you that I don't know if this is coming up more so for you or for him, about somebody being defensive, right? So like being like, where are you at? And somebody answers the phone, they're like, I'm working, right? To be honest with you, I really do think that that's where they are. That's what he's doing. He appears to be busy. He appears to actually be in the midst of working on something. I don't think there's any fishiness here. I don't see any fishiness. Trust me. If you've had a reading with me, you know that I would tell you. The reason why I talk about defensiveness is because the Seven of Wands is coming up. So it can be somebody who's a little short, or somebody who's like a little weird about their boundaries being pushed. Like you're like, well, when are you done? When are you getting home? Like, what is it you're working on? Watch out for that kind of riffraff, all right? It's a new moon. The moon tomorrow is going to make some aspects also to Pluto. This new moon has everybody kind of crabby and in their feels. I feel very confident that a lot of this is also just about both of you guys working off some kind of steam. Like, I don't know if there's been some friction that's been going on recently between the two of you. I don't know if you guys have been just kind of short, or somebody's just been working a lot, and so like there isn't like a lot of togetherness. But the Nine of Pentacles says you're solid, so don't worry, you're good. I don't see any issues in regards to where he is or what he's doing. I would just say try to diffuse the situation, especially over the next day or two. Okay, so hopefully that is helpful for you. Moving on, we're gonna bop around a little bit. Looks like we have L that I'm going to take in the super chat, and then I'll come back for you, Matthew, and I'm still waiting for Catherine. L, it's nice to see you. Love a card for our love reading. There are a couple guys and I'm a bit confused. Pisces Sun, Sag Rising, Libra Moon. Libra Moon, indecisive, huh? That's a fun chart that you have with some of the transits that are going on in your life currently right now, right? That Mercury retrograde, those eclipses going on in your 7th house. If you're a Sag rising, definitely a lot of choosing between different people. And then, you know, there is some nice vibes because that all makes aspects to your moon. So really that tells me it's more about who's like really communicating well for you, whether or not you're clearing out past patterns with how you used to date or how you used to perceive people or what you used to believe about relationships. Ooh, that card wanted to come out. Strength card. I love the Strength card. That to me is talking about not feeling like you have to push the situation, right? That's what I love about this. Like you see, like when she's embracing the lion, she doesn't have him in a headlock. She doesn't have him on a leash. She doesn't have him in a cage. You know, it's kind of saying like the most strength that you can have in this situation, or the person who's going to win you over, is definitely either going to be somebody who's just got a lot of warmth and like they're giving you your space and they're allowing you to kind of come to them, or vice versa. It can also be talking about that there being a lot more romance and choice and decision that's going to be made when the sun moves into Leo, or when we're in Leo season. Right now, Mars and Venus are doing their dance. They're very close to each other and they're kind of getting pinged all over the place with Uranus and also with Saturn. So there's lots of changes in relationships, changes in values, what we find attractive, what we want when it comes to partnership, and whether or not people are in or out. I wonder, like, is there a Leo? Is there somebody who's got some kind of Leo placement? Is there somebody who really makes your heart sing? Tell me the signs, because I would love to give you more insight. You're kind of in that in-between, L, between the 20 and the 40. I'm going to give you another card because I want some more insight for you. So what else does she need to know in terms of her dating and her love life? Okay. Five of Cups flew over there, and it was upside down when it flew. Queen of Swords is like Aquarius and a Taurus. Okay, so the one thing that I would say to you is, like, to me, it seems like either another person is going to enter the ring. I mean, like, look at this. So there's multiple lions that are hanging out around this woman. And or it could be talking about you making a decision and really communicating what's on your heart over the next month and a half, really talking about, you know, what you need when it comes to romance, what you need when it comes to relationships. And this is about passion, drama, compatibility, attraction, dates, having fun. Like, It's so interesting to me that, you know, Uranus is in Taurus and you've also got Saturn in Aquarius, and these two energies are squaring off and you're dealing with these two very different people. I will say, being a Sag rising, it's not easiest to be with Taurus, okay? Because that kind of hits that 5th house, 6th house cusp, depending on where it is. Definitely Aquarius is going to work a lot better in your chart, just talking about in terms of where it's kind of landing in your horoscope. Really pay attention to who you connect with intellectually, also who you can banter with, who you can communicate with, who's more communicative. I mean, if you're feeling like, even, you know, sometimes it's not A or B, sometimes it's C. I feel like you're going to have an answer and you're going to know better once you get to the end of August, especially knowing that there are 2 full moons that are going to be happening over the next 2 months. Not a lot of people are talking about that yet, but we've got 2 full moons in Aquarius. So that's really going to kind of like build everything up in your chart and get you chattier, talking more, being able to be busier, going back and forth with partnerships. It makes me wonder, are you going to go on a trip with somebody? Is somebody going to say to you, let's spend more time together? And then you kind of make up your mind. But honestly, this is definitely a fire element that's coming in. So it's neither one of the elements that come up for them. Pay attention to what messages come from your heart over the summertime. You don't need to make a decision yet. Okay. All right. So it looks like hopefully that was helpful for you, Elle. We've got Matthew Powers. Nice to see you, dude. How's it going? Or Kurt. My question is, does Emmy still think about me? All right, let's take a look. I like doing readings on new moons. I feel like it's a good time to do it. The vibes are good. I think we were doing the one the last time when the moon was in Capricorn, like they were so chatty, but this seems a little bit more like sentimental, like a little bit more emotional, like a little bit more like therapy time. It doesn't seem as harsh as the Moon Pluto transits. So Kurt was asking if Emmy still thinks about him. Thank you for your donation. Let's take a look. First card that comes up is 5 of Cups. Second card that comes up is 6 of Swords. Third card's, yeah, she does, dude. Special space in her heart, but I bet you anything this is the Death card. Oh, okay, it's not. It's a Page of Swords. So, all right, so let's put this together. So we've got 5 of Cups. That jumped out a minute ago, too. Maybe that was for you. Maybe it was just like, that's just the energy that's coming up. Is like, anybody feeling kind of emo or kind of in their feelings? The new moon for some people is like, I've had people who have been texting me all day being like, what's going on? I'm melting. Especially if you have cardinal energy in your chart. 5 of Cups is mopey, reminiscing, sad. It's not being able to move on from the past. It can be this feeling of like you being down and being like, well, is it because she's thinking about me? Am I thinking about her? What's the connection? You know, traditionally in this card, what we see is 3 cups that are tipped over on the floor. So it can be indication of like a falling out, a breakup, a separation, a third person getting in the mix, like trying to be friends but not knowing how to be friends after things kind of get kind of wonky in terms of like mixing in the romantic stuff. And what you don't see is the 2 of Cups that's being offered to you in the background. And so it's kind of saying like there can be a lot of you getting in your feelings, reminiscing, being stuck on how things used to be, being fixated like, man, you know, did she move on to somebody else? Like she's got a new boyfriend, like what's happening? Like what about me? Don't lose sight of the fact that the 2 of Cups is still being offered to you. So it can be talking about future opportunity to reconnect with her, a future opportunity to bring in a relationship that might remind you of her. It might be a situation where, you know, there's somebody in front of you or a new opportunity for a relationship, but you can't see it because you're so stuck in your shit. So just be mindful. That's where you're at right now. 6 of Swords talks about transition, limbo, being in between. So it's like, once again, it could be that period of where you're in a situation where you guys have split, you've moved on, maybe she's physically living somewhere else. Maybe it's like giving yourself that 6 months or whatever period until you're able to kind of talk again and like let things cool out. So hopefully you can still be friends or you can interact. This is on to better things. So you may feel like she's moved on. You may feel like she's no longer kind of around or in your circle of somebody who you can call on or somebody who you can talk to. You might be worried that you're losing her or losing the connection. Six of Swords also tells me that there can be some relocation or some movement. I feel like if this were a situation where she had moved on and she didn't care anymore and she was like over it, I would see like the Death card, you know, the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Swords, anything that has to do with like, no, I'm moving on, moving on. This tells me you guys are still in limbo. So whether that means it's safer or it's better for you guys to have some space or not be talking, it's actually like healing and therapeutic. So both parties can actually get to where they need to go. For me, the Empress is a yes card. That can be talking about her going, yeah, I think about him, but I'm putting myself first. Yeah, I think about him, but I need to think about me. You know, this feeling of also you idolizing her, putting her on a pedestal, being like, oh my God, that's, you know, the girl that I'm like really in love with. I'm totally crazy about her. She does think about you. I saw that card that was peeking out underneath the Page of Swords reversed. I do feel like this is her not reaching for you. This is her not speaking to you. This is her making the conscious choice not to go back and forth with you. I do believe that this may change though, because the Page of Swords reversed with the Six of Swords is like not never, just not right now. There can also be some really harsh exchanged words with that Page of Swords reversed. So keep in mind, like it may be too soon for you guys to talk. Somebody still might have their feelings hurt. It may be too soon. So yes, she's thinking about you. 6 weeks, 6 months. There can be like a rebirth energy or an opportunity where maybe she feels like there's been enough time for her to be able to communicate with you. So give it that long if you need to, 6 weeks, six months. And this whole Five of Cups thing with like being bummed out and feeling like, man, like, you know, I missed out, or, you know, she's not thinking about me. That's not the case at all. There's something that she's going through right now where there's this need for her to really protect her space and be reflecting on the fact that she needs to be building herself as a whole person for whatever reason. It's a big grow up period for her, for the Empress to be coming up. Okay, hopefully that was helpful for you, Kurt. Thanks, J-Lo. Angeli, we did the reading for you. You might have to go back a little bit sometimes. Oh, okay, cool, you got it. Okay, cool. Glad that was helpful. Let's see here. I'm just like blowing through people. Let's see, is Catherine still here? Hopefully she is, we'll see. Otherwise, if not, I can put some cards out for Catherine. We'll reach you next week. So if you're watching this, check in next week because we're gonna be doing the astrology stuff. So just check on my schedule. I believe we're going to be doing that, I think, on Thursday. Look for that Thursday. Good. I'm glad that that was helpful. You have nothing to worry about. It's so funny because when I was like shuffling the deck, because sometimes we'll like lay everything out, make sure we have all the angles and everything going on well for the live. I didn't even really shuffle the deck. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna split the deck. And it was like Seven of Swords, Ace of Cups reversed, and like 10 of Swords. And I was like, oh no, I'm like, it's not gonna be one of those evenings. We're not gonna do the who's cheating or who's screwing around evenings, are we, Spirit? But I guess we knocked those out pretty quickly. Those of you guys who are maybe catching up, because I see some of you guys are on a bit of a lag, if you have a response or if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm reading the chat. It'd be interesting to hear your response. Thank you, Angeli, for your response. Kristen says, it's seriously been rough, but I'm all cardinal. Is there any like Cancer, Sun, Moons that are watching right now? I'm going to do a general reading also. So I'm going to split the deck and I'm going to do a pick a card reading. I'll put that out over here somewhere. So towards the end of the live, I'll be able to tell you what your pick a card reading was. So let's do that now while we're waiting for people. If you guys want a reading, You can get that below by clicking on the super chat. We're doing 1 or 3 card readings. Also, there's a PayPal link. If you have a question, just let me know. All right, so this is going to be the pick a card. So this will be card 1. Oops, somebody probably saw that. Card 2, card 3. All right, so 1, 2, 3, pick a card. We'll do this in a little bit. You have a question or something you're thinking about, whatever you're drawn to, just think about that. Pick a card, and then I will come back and we will do that reading in just a bit. Michelle. All right, this is my moon juice, guys. Like cucumber and lemon and aloe. It's like really good for anything cancer. It's also good with tequila. I love a general reading for this new moon and not really feeling connected to it and weirdly unemotional. Love life fell off, tired, super busy. Capricorn moon, Gemini rising, Aquarius moon. Capricorn sun, there we go. Okay. So are you an 8th house sun or a 7th house sun? Well, I mean, I don't know if you're going to feel a lot with this one. It is in opposition to your moon, so it is having you clean things out emotionally. It's definitely good for resources and money. Be doing some abundance magic. You got a new moon in your 2nd house. Whoops. Should have thought about that one. If you have a new moon in your 2nd house, it's definitely going to be financial. Move these over here so I don't blow them all over the place. 1. Somebody's looking at 2 right now. That's fine. Here. Just go that way so they don't see it. Thank you. Try to leave those there. Sorry, guys. Doing magic tricks over here. Gonna go slice up some lemon. That sounds refreshing. Do it. All right. So let's see a general card for you. I would be really focused on, like, you know, with the aspects between what's going on with, excuse me, it's not your 2nd house. What am I saying? Yeah, it is your 2nd house. I'm crazy. Gemini rising. So between your 2nd house and what you've got going on with the other transits making aspects, let's see. Good, good, good. Oh, okay, 2 cards. So the cards that come up for you are the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. It's weird that you talk about being kind of like blah or detached or like something emotionally like not clicking. That to me seems like the 8 of Swords. It can also seem like feeling kind of like stuck. Remember that the 8 of Swords is more mental, so it's about like mentally getting kind of stopped up in something or feeling mentally bound but not physically bound. It's kind of like your mindset, how you're communicating, what you're thinking, what you're telling yourself. So I would be really, really, really aware of that, especially if you've got anything that's going on in Gemini or has been going on in Gemini. I know that's been challenging with the aspects to Neptune in your 4th house and the eclipses. But 8 of Swords is saying it's a state of mind. Okay, you're feeling stuck and that's a state of mind. This is going to lift though. 6 of Wands is really positive because it talks about being victorious, coming out on top, being something where there's like a warm reception, people who are happy to see you, connecting with people who want to celebrate you, some kind of shift that's going to be happening. This can even be a card that talks about homecoming. So part of me wonders, you know, is there something going on here soon where maybe you're feeling kind of blah about your life, but you go and you visit family or family comes to visit you and then they kind of like build you back up and they're like, you're doing great, you're so awesome, like look at all the things you have going on for you. So you're going to have some experience like this soon where people are going to remind you of like being like, actually, you're doing okay for yourself. You may not feel like it right now, but you're doing well for yourself. Yes, needing so much sleep. The other thing I would say is that, you know, the 8 of Swords, that can have this energy of like feeling blocked in terms of like sexual energy because it's an 8. So like 8 of Swords is like trying to wrap your head around this idea of like, okay, well, what is my exchange with other people? You know, do I want to have a relationship where I'm being vulnerable and talking about my feelings? It can also deal with resources and whether or not you're feeling like you're actually getting enough from other people. I would say like getting active, getting out, doing something, not in a social sense, but like moving around, because this is the card of movement and this card seems very tied down. So like literally moving or massaging or working that energy out of your body can be very helpful. Been needing so much sleep, killing my Virgo productivity. Let's see, did I lose you? Let me know, Michelle, let me know. Super busy with work. I guess that's positive. Have a 6th house stellium, it doesn't slow down. All right, got a couple other people here. Looks like we've got something from Antoinette for a 3-card reading, and Lori. Hi, Lori. It's nice to see you. Antoinette, too. I'm like slowly remembering people's screen names. I'm like terrible. I'm like that with names, too. I'm like a face person. So maybe I'm learning you guys as your little icons, maybe. Although some of you guys have alter egos on here, which is hilarious. They'll be like, this is my real name, and then this is my screen name. I'm like, it's like, gotta be a lot of Scorpio moons watching my stuff. Pisces, maybe. Pisces rising. It's your mindset, Michelle. You can do it. I also feel like all those people on their horses, they're going somewhere. Get in the car, go for a drive. Like, if you're working really hard, you need time to decompress. Like, you need time to go and celebrate your accomplishments because you're getting in the rut. And I get like that too. I work so much, but sometimes like the time that I do take away from like not doing readings or not, you know, being super focused on like writing horoscopes or making content. Like when I take a break, I'm like, wow, okay, things are actually going pretty well. Sometimes we need that for perspective. Yep, get active, girl. You can do it. All right, cool. Let's bop on over to Antoinette. Thank you for watching. Work, career. Another little gem. Work and career for you. Lynch. It's a cute name. All right, so let's see what we need to know for her in regards to work and career. The Devil. The Knight of Cups. It wanted out. Sorry. Trying to stop it. I couldn't stop it. So the Devil card, the Knight of Cups, the 3 of Wands. Part of me wonders, because I have to say this when I say the Knight of Cups. I don't know, and it's hard for me to interpret, so you're going to have to let me know. Is this a situation where you're feeling like work is just really grinding your gears emotionally, like it's really emotionally draining, or you're in a situation where you feel like it's hard for you to leave work at the door, like you're bringing it home, or emotionally there's exhaustion? And or is there a situation going on where there's a really sexy dude at work and Knight of Cups and the Devil comes up, so that can also be like a romantic connection to somebody, or somebody who's fixated on you, or somebody who you get into some kind of like making eye contact or something with them at work. So let me know. I don't know. You're saying, yes, it's horrible. I'm assuming work is horrible. You know, the devil is literally like whips and chains, bounds you, doesn't allow you to move forward or break out of a bad habit. So these habits can be emotional habits, and really like having you really pay attention to where work is emotionally manipulating you or teaching you some not so great self-care habits, like, you know, like not eating, overworking, like dealing with people who are abusing you emotionally, or who are not respecting your boundaries. And so, okay, no romance at work. Okay, good. Sorry, it's not a sexy dude. That would have been a better setup, but I went with the first one. To me, it seems like it's pushing you to new limits with the 3 of Wands coming up, and it's basically saying like, this is pushing you to the point of needing to at least see what else is out there and looking at other options, looking at other jobs, looking for something else, looking to leave. I'm going to tell you this right now. Please don't go on an emotional bender and quit and walk out, because sometimes I see these things come together. Yes, there is a prospect for opportunities. Absolutely. You need to keep looking. You need to actually look further. So I don't know if that means you need to really spread yourself a little bit thinner and see where else you can find job opportunities or people who can help you, be willing to look in other areas, being willing to expand. There's a need to do that. Being that the Nine of Cups came up upright, it does tell me that what you have going for you is the fact that emotionally you're like, I'm at my wit's end. I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm not taking care of myself. And you also may not feel like you have a lot of time for your personal life, or you may not have a lot of time even just for you. So unless this chain of events going on in your life pertaining to work changes, nothing else can shift. So it's encouraging you over the next 3 weeks, the next 3 months, get out there, look. I think you'll find something. I do think that it's also like really getting a feel for talking to the company or whoever it is that you ultimately end up working for when you start going out for interviews. Because this isn't thinking about it. This is going. Like the cards seem to think by the end of this year, there is a very good likelihood that you're going to switch jobs. To be frank with you, I don't think you want to wait more than 3 weeks, let alone, 3 or 4 months. But it does show me that what's going on with you emotionally is enough of a motivation to push you actually into greener pastures. And this is greener pastures. 3 of Wands is like, bye, see you guys later. Like, you'll find something and you won't even think twice about leaving. It may be that you give short notice. It may be that you're like, I gotta, quit my job on a Friday and start this new one on a Monday. It'll go very quickly. So keep in mind that the bounds that are going on with the devil, it's something that's actually a good thing, because it's pushing you to be more aware of your emotions. It's also pushing you to just go to a job where you're going to have more recognition, more emotional fulfillment, where you're not going to be feeling like you're at your wit's end. They're giving you recognition for a job well done. It doesn't really seem like you're getting that where you are right now. So try to look at it in a different perspective, where it's like, okay, this is motivating me to create change, and there's no real growth where I'm at right now, so I got to go. But you will leave. It will happen. Hopefully that was helpful. Lynch. Lori, nice to see ya. So I think your question was, what do we need to know for this new moon? Sag sun, Leo rising, Leo moon, fiery. Let's take a look. Leo moon, Leo rising. Well, so this is taking place in your 12th house, most likely, depending on what your chart looks like. 12th house, renewal, rest, recuperation, especially spiritually, like take a bath, soak, unwind, watch a movie. It's like, really about self-nurturing, self-care, rest, sleep, dreams. You can have some very colorful dreams going on there. So let's see what the cards say for you. Ooh, the sun. So right now the sun is in your 12th house. It's that natural time where you do rest and heal and recuperate. Especially if there is grief that you're going through, loss, healing some kind of heartbreak, healing some kind of disappointment, right? But the disappointment can feel like it's stemming from family changes, anxiety changes, revolving around things that are going on emotionally behind the scenes. Like, is there something going on, Lori, where you're having some realizations about your relationships, and that there are just some things that you're like, it is what it is, I can't change this? Is that going on for you? I know your dreams have been crazy. I just know that looking at your, I say looking at your transits. In my mind, I'm like a super freak, sorry. What's going on here? All right, what's going on here? Sun card is talking about shining a light on something, happiness, fulfillment, joy. It's a very positive card. Then you got the Three of Swords, which is like heartbreak, moving through something that breaks your heart that you didn't see coming. It does deal with grief and mourning and healing with your mom. Okay. So whatever this relationship dynamic is that you're realizing, it's like, it is what it is. It's really challenging for you. And I don't know if it's like dealing with a situation with your mom that you can't change, or just like a dynamic where you're like, I can't change her, whatever. I believe that acceptance and healing and like working on it yourself and giving yourself closure and like doing what you need to do to nurture yourself, because Cancer is the mom, right? So there can also be this feeling of like kind of being brokenhearted because mom's not showing up in the way that she's supposed to because it's your mom. And so really what it's shining a light on is like, okay, what do you need to heal? What do you need to release? What do you need to let go? Do you need to cry? Literally, you see crying. This is also contrast. It's like, you know, during the daytime kind of moving around being like, everything's fine, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But it's not fine. Something's catching up with you. So what it's saying is like, don't slap on your happy face. Okay, at least not right now. Process your emotions, go through this, cry it out, do what you got to do. I love that there's a little doggy in this because I feel like that's very much connected to Cancer. It's about companionship, nurturing. You know, it can be that somebody comes in and offers that to you. It can be that a pet is a little bit more understanding, or a close loved one is a little bit more understanding, and they're going to be like, what's going on? What's wrong? Let me help you. You don't need to hide your emotions right now, all right? And then 2 of Cups, upright, opportunity for union, better relationship, harmony, coming together, and then the Knight of Wands. So this can be that you decide to take the high road in a situation and go, you know what, in spite of this, you know, it's my mom, I'm gonna deal with my stuff, I'm gonna move forward, and I'm just gonna keep loving you as much as I can. And or this can also be a person or a fire sign, it can be like a sibling or somebody, another relative who gets involved and is like, look, you guys got to figure this shit out. You got to get together. You got to work it out. Like, we're family. This is what we do. There is some aspect of initiating, you know, hashing things out and being able to, at the very least, be civil, sit down, be around each other, be kind to each other, share a meal, share a drink with each other. It can be an offering to meet and go, let's just hash this out. Let's square this all away. But first, before you do that, you need to do your healing. You need to do, you know, your you time. You need to take this rest today, tomorrow, process that before you be able to kind of step up to the plate and hash out whatever this is. And I believe that you will. But sometimes it's also acknowledging that some of this pain goes deeper. It's stuff that's either been festering or stuff that's been going on for a while, or things that you haven't been acknowledging. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, it just hits you out of nowhere and it's just erupting. It can be a really challenging time for Leo risings right now, so just take it easy. Realize that as the sun comes into your sign, and I think we get closer to your birthday, a lot of this stuff is going to shake out. The most sensitive times for you guys is actually like the first 10 days of July, the first 10 days of August. Hopefully there's some healing there for you, Lori. Grizz Logic. Can I call you Grizz? Can I call you Grizz? Grizz, what's your question? Thank you for your donation. I appreciate it. Those of you guys who are just tuning in and watching, thank you for stopping by. This is the, call it the Friday Night Lights. That's what I should call it. Grizz, what is your question? Jeffrey Mendez, Sun and Moon in Taurus. Virgo rising, Sun and Moon and Taurus. Okay, Sun and Moon. Virgo, Sun and Moon, Taurus rising. Ugh. Spirit message, feeling lots of energy in this new moon. Cool. Well, so the new moon is like hanging out in your 11th house of friendships, huh? So it's about friends, it's about your dreams, it's about what you hope to achieve one day. Taurus rising. So then for a Taurus rising, it's going to be taking place. Ooh. Ooh. 4 of Pentacles. Again. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so I was kind of getting mixed up. So for Virgos, Virgo rising, it's taking place in your 11th house. But if you're a Taurus rising, it's taking place in your 3rd. Okay, there we go. Cool, cool. So what do you need to know? What's coming through? Well, third house. So this is like processing how you think, processing how you feel. Once again, I think it's kind of odd that the Three of Swords comes up. It is reversed. So it's talking about whatever has happened going on pertaining to like relationships or disappointments or some challenging things for you to be moving through. Like that's been already cleared out. You've been in your stabilization phase that's been going on for like the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months. Four of Pentacles is basically saying, I've been holding on to situations for so long, I haven't been willing to let go. So there's some shift going on right now with how you communicate, how you think, realizing that you can't deny your emotions, you can't deny your feelings, that you need to talk about your feelings, you need an outlet for that. You know, Tauruses or Taurus risings are really being pushed right now in a lot of different ways. You've got a lot of action going through your fourth house of family, you've got a lot of action going through your 10th house of career with Saturn, and then Uranus is in smack dab in the middle on your ascendant. So it's like back and forth between, you know, do I want to run and hide or do I show up into the world? Do I deal with the family stuff or do I do it with the work stuff? And then really just Uranus saying you need your space. So from what it seems to me is you're just making the conscious decision now to just let go and go, you know what, I'm just gonna let go. I'm just gonna let it all go. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. This can be financial concerns. This can be job concerns. This can be dealing with whether or not you feel stable or secure. Such an important conversation if you have a Taurus rising or if you have aspects going on in Cancer. Cancer and Taurus are the two signs that really fixate. Do I have enough? Am I safe? Am I secure? Do I have a home? Do I have food? So if there's any question as to whether or not you're stable, you're stable. You're just releasing all of these things that have made you felt unstable. Learning how to communicate more effectively, being able to share, especially with like a sibling, or it can be with a younger person. The Page of Swords is kind of just getting your sea legs and like learning how to communicate about your feelings. And it's like new territory for you. You're just starting it. This can also mean that, you know, you get a message from somebody about something that would usually irk you and kind of throw you off, and you're like, not today. I'm not letting myself respond to things this way anymore. You're becoming more aware of your response system and whether or not you're going to let people rattle you and whether or not you're going to let people make you freak out and wonder whether or not you're safe or secure. Like that's over with. So if you've been struggling with that, or if you've been struggling with negative thought patterns, things repeatedly getting in your head and you like believing, you know, the same stories, because if you keep believing them, they're going to play out that way. But if you release them and you let go, there's healing here, and there's an opportunity for you to have a completely different frame of mind and a different perspective about what security is. Let me know if that's helpful. Lori said, funny you said fire sign coming in. Let's all get along. We're family. Aries grandmother doing just that. Gotta love grandma. That person's gonna keep doing it too, you know, like with that Knight of Wands, like getting in there and being like, come on guys, like we're having a party, we're making dinner, we're going places, like you guys have to just make up. Let me know, Grizz. It can be really a fun time in your chart too. Also, you know, if you're a Taurus rising and you've got all that Virgo, that's actually really good for you, because I feel like it's all building into your authenticity. It's all building into your love life, your creativity, your romance. If you're self-employed, all those Uranus transits are funneling into your fifth house. So you're learning how to let go and how to play and almost like be in this more childlike mindset where you just allow yourself to just paint with all of the colors, right? Pull out all the crayons and like do all of the stuff that you don't usually do, which can be more challenging if you have a lot of earth in your chart, and really aligning yourself with things that do make you feel stable and secure, which can be super rattling for Taurus placements because you're hardwired to be like food, sex, money, you know? But then when you go through the Uranus transits, you start to realize like, oh, it's love and happiness and joy and creativity and children and freedom of self-expression. Focusing on stability with careers, left refinery work, focus more on spiritual path, getting back into my passions and yes, I love that. Honestly, really, really read your horoscope for your rising sign. If you're just starting to get into like learning more about astrology, you know, your rising sign is going to talk about what's physically going to happen, how it's going to show up. Your sun sign is so important as well. But your sun sign is going to talk about what you need more from a joy perspective. So Virgo's going through a lot of career change. Taurus rising, definitely going through big changes pertaining to their way of communicating and expressing what's on their heart and how they feel. I'm excited for you. It's definitely a fun, you know, ride going through your healing stuff and then coming out the other side and having a different perspective, a different lifestyle, a different job even. That takes a lot of guts to do that. So it's really exciting for you. How's everybody doing? Should we get into the cards that I knocked all over the floor? Have you guys been looking at these? I'll leave these out for just another couple minutes. I did a pick a card reading, so if you're watching and you just want to be able to pick a card, if there's one that you're particularly drawn to, card 1, 2, and 3, think about your question, meditate on it. I'll give you another couple minutes. I'll flip it over and I will tell you a little bit about what that card has in store for you. Anybody do anything fun for their, for like the new moon? You guys do anything? Anybody do any like witchy things? I need to get candles. I'm getting ready to do a candle episode with Mike on the podcast. We're getting ready to film it this next week. It's gonna be me teaching Mike how to make magic candles. It's gonna be really fun. So I have to go and get some candles. So I'm kind of like candle-less, but I kind of made up for it and I lit a bunch of tea lights. But those of you guys who have like herbal stuff at home, eucalyptus, sandalwood, lemon peel. What else did I put in there? I put some like silver glitter. There was something else that I put in there. I'm trying to think. But just all herbs. Jasmine was in there. Everything that's associated with just lunar herbs, moon herbs, a little bit of coconut oil. You can use aloe also. Whether you want to make a bath, you want to put it in something you can drink. Obviously, don't drink sandalwood, okay? Not responsible for whatever happens if you do that, but you can mix those herbs together, put it in a bath. You can put it in a candle, put it on a charcoal. Something that could be really awesome is today, tomorrow, even tomorrow for some places, you can go and get like farmers markets, or you can, at least around here, you can go to some of the grocery stores and get fresh eucalyptus. Hanging that and putting that in a shower for this new moon is awesome. I actually think I'm probably going to do that tomorrow or in a day or so. I'll do that, burn the rest of my candles, get all of that stuff out. So yeah, this is a really great new moon for cleansing, clearing, soaking, detoxing, like these kinds of things, because it deals with the emotions. So yes, some of us are going to want to reach for the Haagen-Dazs and cuddling on the couch and taking naps and all that fun Cancer stuff. But this is really about nurturing, self-nurturing, protecting, healing, safety, security. So a lot of moon work, feminine work, womb work. Definitely a really great time to set intentions. The next like 48 hours revolving around self-care and emotional renewal. So those of you guys who didn't check out my video, my weekly video is actually on my page, and I talk about this new moon and some of my perspectives in terms of what may come from it. Thank you, Elle. I miss doing those at HOI. Those were fun. Those of you guys who know me from LA, I lived in LA for a very long time, and I worked at a shop in East Los Angeles for a while doing readings. That's how I kind of started. And yeah, I used to teach candle magic, and I have like a whole background in like apothecary work and candle blending and all kinds of stuff. I had a candle company for a while. So I'm going to start doing more of that stuff and talking to you guys about how to work with like herbs and certain things and incorporating it into working with the planets. I love that. Burning a homemade candle, drinking some water with clear quartz crystal at the bottom of your glass. I didn't do anything because I just woke up. I got out a really long bath, fell asleep while bathing. Jeff, that is such a Cancer new moon thing to do. So we've got some more time. So if you still want to get a reading in, you can. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the pick a card reading. So those of you guys who chose card number 1, think about your question. Think about your question. This is your last moment to feel whichever one vibes. Card 1, 2, 3. Cleaning out your studio, packing and moving. So much domestic stuff going on. So much domestic stuff. All right, so if you chose card number 1, do it this way, King of Swords. If you are dealing with an air sign or you are an air sign, it's speaking to you specifically, okay? King of Swords can be somebody who's just super matter of fact. It's like when you make up your mind, it's when you sign that contract, it's when you come up with that idea and go, this is what we're executing. It is very masculine, it's efficient, it's quick moving, it's direct, and it can be emotionless. So if you're somebody who's like, you know, do I sign it? Do I make the decision? Do I agree to it? Well, do you feel like this is good? Do you feel like this is going to pan out? Have you expressed all of your ideas? Have you communicated your non-negotiables? This can be about drawing a line in the sand, right? Because swords are not just used defensively. They're also used to be very clear about where your boundaries are. So actually drawing those boundaries rather than getting reactional, that can be the best way to handle the situation. This can also be you dealing with somebody who's been just like aggressive or like on top of you about being able to get something done or get something signed or get something in. If you're looking at publishing, writing, teaching, like it's saying, yes, go in that direction, do that. Just be really mindful of your words right now and how you use your words because they are power. For card number 2, Page of Wands. So Page of Wands, having fun, being creative, taking a chance, being adventurous. This can be a younger fire sign. This can be you doing something fun with the fire sign. This can be the card saying, yes, take a chance on that creative venture. You never know where it's going to lead. Kind of similar to the Fool, but this is a little still premature. It's still the idea phase. It's still the beginning process of you being able to either receive news or give news about traveling or about movement. This is the element of fire. So basically, like, this wants to move, be passionate, be creative. The Page of Wands can also be like a child or an energy of the beginning process of a creative project or being self-employed or you know, some kind of passionate situation that's going on, but it's very premature. So it's saying like, things still haven't kind of sorted themselves out yet. This is something that's still kind of growing. You need to see how it goes. Be careful for not lashing out, acting out, you know, doing something suddenly that's going to like turn people off. It can also be talking about kind of calming tempers and being aware of where your energy is going and not kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall because you can get burnt out, or frankly, it can just be messy, something that doesn't go according to plan. So this is the very beginning process of something, but it's encouraging you to take a chance, be active, be mobile, be creative. And then for card number 3, we have the 10 of Wands. So 10s are ends of cycles. 10 of Wands is basically saying it's almost over, you're almost done. This can be like that sigh of relief after like a really busy week at work. This can be you in the beginning process or even the tail end of moving, carrying heavy burdens, like carrying, you know, the financial weight, carrying the work weight, literally physically dealing with excess weight or something that you want to release. To me, if you chose card number 3, it seems like you're completing some cycle, you're releasing something, but be mindful, be careful, because especially when this card comes up, like right at the end, whether it's, you know, while you're working through something emotionally, or while you're working through the tail end of, you know, packing and putting something away, there can be a trip or a fall. 10 of Wands, somebody's taking a hard exam and it's done, so it's completion. But I also see this as like pushing past some of your physical limits. Some of you guys can be training too hard, working out too hard, studying too hard, working too hard, you know, pushing yourself too much. Be aware of your limits, okay? But something will be completed, especially all the hard work with this 10 tells me that you're gonna be successful, that you're gonna be able to get the job done, even though you feel like it's a heavy weight to carry, even if you feel like you're doing it alone, okay? Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I hope you passed that exam, Angeli. I hope you passed it. Somebody said, I love magic, can of magic, want to see with that video. I'm a huge plant guy, definitely learn my herbs and how to work at the during the moons. One of my favorite things to do is to give offerings to the planets. And I know people do that like with like deities and gods and goddesses and all that stuff. Certainly they all relate to the planets, right? But the way that I do it is kind of like funky. Like I'll carve the candles with the planetary sigils, or I'll burn them on specific planetary hours or specific days, and I use all of the herbs and the oils that coordinate with the intention that I'm setting. So that's like, that's some real magical stuff. It's fun once you get the hang of it. Exhausted. You're welcome. Speaking of tripping and falling while taking a bath, I dropped my phone and now it doesn't work. Jeff, no! The squares, the Mercury-Neptune squares. Be careful. Checking my PayPal. Give me just a second here. All right, I got a couple other people. I got somebody from I got one for Amber, a 3-card reading. Okay. Is that Taliba? Taliba? Am I pronouncing your name right? I want to make sure I pronounce your name right. All right, so we'll get to Amber. See your question. Cancer Sun, Virgo Moon, Pisces Rising. Single general card reading. Thanks in advance. Of course. That is quite a watery chart you got going on. I bet this new moon's should be feeling pretty good for you. Should be feeling pretty good. I don't know. Let me know. Amber, 3-card reading. So what does Amber need to know? Just a general reading for her this evening. Come on. Four of Wands, 9 of Swords reversed, 8 of Pentacles. These two did jump out, but we'll look at that in a minute. 4 of Wands, celebration, temporary space. To me, it seems like you can be having some challenges unwinding, right? Like to me, it seems like you've been kind of wound up. I don't know if you've been, working a lot and now you're trying to like find time to like decompress and like have the energy to go out and hang out with your friends and do things. But the 4 of Wands is about celebrations, getting together, going to a party, going to a get together, a celebration of some kind, even going out to a bar, getting a drink, or even seeing some live music. It's like decompressing. So it's really important for you to be aware that there's opportunities for you to go and celebrate and be around other people. To me, it seems like it's really hard for you to unwind, and I'm trying to figure out why, so let me know. But 9 of Swords reversed is like anxiety or stress or, wanting to catch up on sleep. You might have friends that are like, let's do something, and you're like, I'm wiped. I have only enough energy to go home. There's something going on like this, or your sleep schedule seems like a little like off. But 9 of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles can be coming up saying also it's hard for you to be present and going and socializing, or it's hard for you to be present right now, either because of work stress, worrying about work, having a job, working too much, not having a job. There's something going on here. So there needs to be more, and I don't often say you need to because that's like an opinion, but you would benefit from having more life balance. And if you're finding that you're getting so worked up or so stressed out about obligations or responsibility or work or whatever this is, that you are not actually energetically up to or able to show up for some of this socializing, there's something that's a little out of whack. And I tell you this only because, the 8 of Pentacles says you're working really hard, and the 9 of Swords reversed is saying that there can be this like being too fixated at work, and there are some things that you have no control over, or there are some things that are going on right now. You just need to let them go the course, and actually taking a step back and prioritizing going out and being able to celebrate your small victories of what has been going right for you recently, or what you do have to be thankful for. You might have a stressful job, but you have a job. And going out and being able to celebrate with people your small successes and things that are going well. I will tell you that like if you're anxious about a financial matter or a job matter, don't be, because I actually see it being fine. And like I don't want you to waste what might be potentially some really great opportunities for you to go and be socializing this summer. Just knowing what I know about, you know, Mars and Venus, you know, being in Leo, and also Mars and Venus are going to be moving into Virgo. So you really want to socialize and be around people. Don't get anxious and kind of close yourself off. Having trouble sleeping and a lot of people have been annoying you. Yeah. Amber, let me know if that is helpful for you. All right, I'm glad I pronounced your name correctly. Taliba, thank you for spelling it out for me. I'm a stickler about that. I don't like it when people mispronounce my name, and believe it or not, people do on a regular basis. So I get a lot of Candace, Candace, like D-I-S-S. All right, so let's get a card for you, Taliba. Those of you guys who have been watching, thanks for tuning in. Check out my channel, check out my links below. You can see all my social media. If you like my reading style, you can book a reading with me, beyondtheveiltarot.com. Tarot, astrology, clairvoyant readings, magical practices. We do it all, baby. Okay, so these cards jumped out. I'm glad that was helpful. Yeah, you're just kind of like in your state where you're kind of hermiting out. There's going to be fun stuff. Make sure you go. So Miss Taliba, 7 of Cups and the Devil. This is talking about some kind of tempting situation. All right. 7 of Cups is, I see that as kind of like you're on a game show and it's like, do you want door number 1, door number 2, door number 3? So it can be talking about getting tempted and having too many options, or being overwhelmed by too many options, or being overwhelmed by so many things that you're trying to kind of get control over, or so many things you're trying to clear out that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm being bombarded. Like it's hard for me to be able to figure out where to start. Your moon is in Cancer. Okay. What is your rising sign? Do you mind me asking? This also is the energy of Saturn. This also is the energy of Capricorn. So I'm wondering if it's just the fact that, you know, you're a Cancer moon, it's a new moon, you know, the Earth is in Capricorn. So it can just show you like a lot of where there's more Saturn energy for you, your body, or you're feeling a little bit more restricted, or you're feeling like you need a little bit more space. The 7 of Cups can also be talking about like dreams, illusions, things that look too good to be true. You got to be careful when these two cards come up together, because it can represent not just temptation, but being led down the rabbit hole, right? Being led down the rabbit hole with eating too much cake, or you know, going after like the tall, dark, and handsome dude who ends up being a fluke. Things that look delicious, they look tempting, they look yummy, but be very careful. Oh yeah, okay, Libra rising. Okay. So part of what's going on literally with some of this temptation, yeah, you've got your new moon in your 10th house of career, but it is making some harsher aspects, right, to Pluto tomorrow. And you've also seen a lot that's played out in terms of whether or not you feel like you have control, or something has control over you. Just knowing what I know about Libra rising also, you know, you've got some planets dancing in your 8th house. So there definitely is temptation to have affairs. There can be people who are drawn to you who are in some complicated situations. They may be in or out of a relationship. They may be committed. They may be interested in you. There's lots of things going on for Libra risings right now where there's like friends who want to have flings. That's the one thing that you want to watch out for. So like this temptation of the Devil with the 7 of Cups is like the person that's like, no, let's just get together. It's going to be fine. And like, it may not be. It might be somebody who has some ulterior motives, or it might be somebody who is just in some way trying to get more involved in your life. So be really careful with that. And the 7 of Cups is just kind of saying like, nothing is really clear. It seems like there's so much stuff that's going on that you're just like, okay, like what's facts and what's fiction? Capricorn dude that you're describing, Capricorn. Something fishy is going on here. And with the squares that you're having between your 8th house and Saturn in Aquarius and Mars and Venus in your 11th, I kind of feel like it could be getting sucked into like situationships where like you're going back and forth with somebody and you're like, this is gonna be something, and then somebody gets friend zoned, or you find out that, you know, somehow one of your friends is talking to him, or that he used to date somebody that you know. Like, pay attention. Trust me on this, because when it comes to mixing friends or lovers right now, it's a little hazy, and you can definitely have some misconnections. So this will clear up, right? This is going to clear up, but it's saying like really ask all of the questions and just be really mindful that there's some smoke and mirrors going on here. Be careful with Saturn in your fifth house. You're not playing, right? Because it's still making aspects to your ascendant and to your ninth house. Look for people who are culturally diverse than you. Look for people who might live at a distance. They might speak another language. And you guys have to have the same philosophy or same belief. Communication has to be there. And you're not really going to make decisions about relationships until the Mercury retrograde in Libra anyway. That's when you're in charge. I mean, Libra risings are always in charge, okay? I'm biased. I'm a Libra rising. That's why I say that. Yeah, be careful. That Seven of Cups is like smoke and mirrors. Like, it looks good, but there's something going on there. Ooh. Yeah, and just a little tidbit from the cards, a little extra here, a little extra sauce on your burger. King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Be careful, because it says that he might be the one to cut and run. Okay? I'm not saying get him before he gets you. I'm just saying that there may already be a situation going on where, you know, if he starts feeling like he's not in control, he'll try to cut it. It can be that he's processing and going through an ending. Like there's something going on here. Okay? Like, is he still like healing from something? Like, did he go through a breakup? Is he like on rebound? Like, is there something like this happening? Fucking Capricorn, man. And I have Venus in Capricorn. I can say that. Crazy girl. We're here for it. Everybody's in the chat. Everybody's just listening to the tea. That's why people hang out and watch these things, you know? They like to hear people's tea. It can be fun. Thanks, Kristen. Cancer Sun, Aries Moon, Cap Rising. Love a general reading for the new moon. Been feeling so up and down, and you need some clarity. Well, let's give you some clarity. I love those master numbers too. Thanks, girl. Well, that's a lot of cardinal, first of all. So, you know, you've got a new moon that's happening in your 7th house, give or take, depending on your degree. So it's going to be your 7th house of relationships, relationship renewal. The problem is that it's in friction to your moon in the 10th house. High Priestess. So that tells me I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. I'm gonna tell you like what I see going on here. I feel like there's issues happening where you feel like you're not in control, or you're not an authority, and you're getting emotionally reactionary because you feel like you either are not having control in a partnership, relationship, romantic aspect, or something that's going on at work, okay? The High Priestess is also talking about very specifically, what is your intuition telling you? What is it telling you, okay? If you're a Cap rising and you got this new moon in your 7th house, and there's all of this energy that's revolving around whether or not you are going to allow yourself to be emotionally vulnerable. So you're also getting that energy that's coming from the 4th, not just the 10th. It's also the 4th house. That'll be, I mean, unless you have planets in Libra. Sorry, I'm like trying to work out your chart in my head. But having your moon hanging out in the 4th, and it's in a square to this moon, there's something emotionally that needs to break free pertaining to either family, domestic stuff, relationships. What's going on? Where is the up and down is expected, but you want to really look to where Cancer is right now in your chart, 7th house, where your sun is. So you're setting new intentions about boundaries in relationships, whether or not people show up for you, whether or not you feel supported, whether or not you feel safe. And usually, like, at least an Aries moon, especially a 4th house moon, not even just Aries moon, but a 4th house moon, when you get moody and you get emotional, you're doing it because you're picking up on something, or you don't feel safe, or something doesn't feel emotionally secure, right? Your partner is a triple Libra, and you're nervous that your partnership is breaking up, but it might be necessary. Listen, here's the thing, okay? And these are the extra cards. Sun is in the 6th. Okay, so you still have some more time until planets, you know, move further into your 6th house, your 7th house. Ace of Cups, Hierophant, 2 of Wands. I want you to just put all the relationship stuff on the side right now, okay? Ask yourself this. What are you looking for in terms of relationships? You want true love? You want security? You want emotional validation? Do you need more nurturing? What do you need more of? Because the focus is on love. Ace of Cups, love is on the way. Renewal, it can be a new relationship. It can be a relationship that can be a period of rebirth after you have done whatever healing needs to be done. But this is an overall positive card. There's a lot of love there. The Hierophant. This is the person who can be the person you get support or guidance from. Okay, it can be me. It can be you talking to a friend, talking to an elder, talking to a therapist, talking to a doctor, being like, okay, somebody's telling you, you know, this is right and this is wrong. There are things that are going on right now within this relationship where it's either out of balance, it's not right, it's not fair, it's not traditional. You know, the Hierophant does talk about marriage. So Ace of Cups and the Hierophant coming up makes me wonder, in your mind, is there this fixation on being like, I want security, I want to settle down with somebody, but I don't feel like I'm getting it emotionally, financially, physically, I don't know. Then the 2 of Wands. It's about being able to see a way out, right? And like seeing the forest through the trees. It can be increments of 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. But it's saying like starting to already kind of look off into the distance and be like, is this going to go the distance? Ask yourself in regards to this relationship, if what you're looking for is commitment. I don't know, but you got Cancer in your 7th house. So tell me, are you looking to settle down? Do you feel like you want to be able to have a marriage or a commitment? Are you feeling like you're not getting that? My partner just quit his job, and I'm empowering forth a creative path with my jewelry art. I want it. Oh dear. I mean, honestly, I really feel like you have to look 2 months, 2 years down the road. It's not about whether or not you stay together in the long run. It's what is your goal and where do you see your life going, okay? And it's not even about whether or not they're working. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with whether or not you feel like this is the more traditional idea of the relationship that you want. I wonder if he's as ambitious as you. So, you know, the Hierophant can be talking about, you know, what is expected in terms of society, right? But the Ace of Cups doesn't care. The Ace of Cups is like, I'm in love with that person. That's my person. This is who I'm going to be with. So it's almost like there's like your heart and your head, or there's some rational side of you that's like, is he going to be secure? Is he safe? Is he going to give you what you need? You're asking yourself this, right? 2 of Wands is like seeing what else is out there. So I encourage you to really look beyond what's going on right now and see what else is out there. Picture your life 2 months, 2 years down the road. Is he still in it? What does he need to do to be able to be in it? How are you going to continue to keep moving forward? I'm not saying you blow past him, but something here tells me that if you keep on the path that you're on, it's not just going to be like, oh, is he driven enough? It's going to be that you keep leveling up, and he may not be rising up to meet you, right? So I would say give it 2 more months, see how this goes, communicate this, express this to him. And if what you're looking for is like somebody who's ride or die, and also somebody who the passion stays alive with, you guys are on the same page about your careers, you're on the same page about where you want to be later in life and what your achievements are, you have to have those conversations and start figuring out right now whether or not he's going to be somebody who's going to be working as hard as you. Because if he's not, new love is on the way. Hopefully that's helpful. Thanks, Lynn. Nice to see you. I think I saw your message earlier. It's hard for me to keep up with the chat, but it's nice to see you. Thank you, Sapphire. Nice to see you. All right, well, we're going to close down the readings with Sapphire. So those of you guys who got readings already, thank you. If you guys aren't aware, check out my subscriptions. You can start donating to help with the channel to make it possible for me to keep doing my weeklies, to get more media stuff, filming, equipment stuff, editing, but also giving me the opportunity, depending on how many subscriptions I get, to make more content for you. If you're not aware, I do a video every Monday morning, so you get a weekly in advance insight into what the astrology is doing. Then also on Mondays on YouTube, you can see my podcast with Mike the Peace Stealer. And then on Friday nights, I'm here and I'm doing these readings with you guys. But if I get to a point where I'm gonna have more time, I can start kind of coming on here and doing like informational videos. And I have some ideas for astrology and tarot, and I want to start a study club. So I'm trying to get all this stuff going. So your support means the world to me. I appreciate you guys. And even if you just check out and you leave comments and you share and you subscribe and you like, that's okay too. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look at this card jumped out. So I do want to read this. Queen of Swords for you, Miss Sapphire. So this is talking about your intellect, your thoughts, how you come across, how you communicate. It's really activating for you your 6th house. It's also activating for you your 3rd and your 10th house. How you communicate revolving around work, partnerships, relating, documents, career stuff, being an authority. Queen of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. So I see this for you. It can be you and you interacting with either another sign, which could be a fire sign, or it could also be talking about 2 women who come in and they help you work on something. They build on something. There's an exchange. Queen of Swords is somebody who can be a writer, somebody who's into publishing, contracts, signing, information, intellect, getting their ideas across and really sticking to their beliefs. And then the Queen of Wands is somebody who comes in who's like more like the creative and the orchestrator. She's the artist, she's the lover, she's the one who comes in and makes magic happen. So it's interesting to see this queen, which is a superior to the Queen of Wands, and almost like a conversation you can be having about what direction you're going in with a creative project, what direction you're going in with your career, how to better kind of round out some of these ideas. And it can also be, like I said, 2 different people who end up working with you. 6 of Pentacles is why I say work, right? So you see like, you know, he's handing out assistance, he's giving money to the poor, it's getting reaping what you sow. This can also be about community service, somebody helping you out, giving you a chance, giving you an opportunity, and finding the ability to do some kind of give back, right? So there's some kind of like somebody's paying it forward, like there's good deeds that are coming to you or people who want to help you. Sag with a Virgo rising. So 11th house and Sag is in the 4th. Definitely a lot of work changes for you or going in between 2 things. There can be a partnership that's starting up here or an opportunity for you to collaborate with another person, or they may have connections to jobs, clients, and things like that. Like to me, that's very lucrative. Like this is either you and another woman as a pair or 2 people who are actually going to give you an opportunity when it comes to work, making more money, but also somehow they need to give back in some way. So I wonder if you're going to be trained or there's going to be some kind of like mentorship that's building. Let me know, let me know. We got a decent amount of people that were in tonight. So those of you guys who stayed till the end, thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. Sapphire, hopefully this is helpful for you. Look for these 2 ladies or one of them that you're going to end up working with. And I'm wondering what good deeds you put out there that are coming back, because you've got people who want to help you either launch something or grow something. So it looks very positive for you. If you are one of my top tier members and you did not get a reading, check back next week. Check out my schedule below. You can see all of my live videos that have been set up. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me on a Friday night. I really appreciate you doing that and supporting the channel. It's always great to hang out and talk to you guys in the chat and see everybody. It makes me super stoked that you're willing to spend your Friday night with me. I will see all of you guys very soon. Be sure to tune in on Monday morning where I give you the weekly month ahead. And if you didn't already see a video for this week, I talk all about the new moon in Cancer. So I will see all of you guys very soon. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.